Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy New Year. It's Daryl here. It's January 1st, 2022. Woo! 3:30 a.m. here, New Year's Day, here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Yes, I slept. I go to bed early. But I woke up during the night and the gods of timing were with me and I caught something perfectly and I have to talk about it here today. I just stood there. I just watched this with my mouth open last night. I didn't know what was going on. Got to talk about this. I usually talk about political stuff, and I actually can connect this. I actually have a segue where both these things happened in Miami. So I want to talk about Miley Cyrus and a wardrobe malfunction that I caught perfectly last night. I want to talk to you guys about that, and I want to talk about AOC, a bizarre tweet from some Republican Trumper. I'll just leave it at that. And both these things happened in Miami. So let me get right into it. Okay. Yes, I work out. I get up this early every single day of the year, 365 days of the year. I've taken my addiction that I used to have for drugs. I do everything in excess. I have an addictive personality. And I've turned that instead of using drugs and alcohol. Now I exercise. I work out 4 to 4.5 hours every single day, 365 days a year. Christmas, every day. Sick, rain, sleet, snow, whatever. I work out. All right, anyway. And my sleeping's never gone back to normal since when I was using. This happens to a lot of recovering addicts. And I wake up throughout the night, okay? And I sleep with my TV on. I'm one of those weirdos. I live alone. I have to have noise in the house. So I leave the TV on, okay? So for the past 15 years I've been clean and sober. A lot of times I wake up right around midnight. And it happened last night. I woke up, it wasn't even 12:01. I think it was like 15 seconds after the clock hit New Year's last night. And I went to the first live station I could find, which was an NBC station. And it was Miley's New Year's Eve party, I think it was called. Miley Cyrus and Pete Davidson. Miley Cyrus was right on stage, right as I clicked on, just about 15 seconds after midnight. And it's interesting being in recovery. And they would switch from Miley back to the audience. And it was obvious a lot of people in the audience had quite a bit to drink. And it's always interesting. I used to be the person partying. I don't like to use that word, because to me it wasn't partying at the end. But anyway, and a lot of them looked like they had a really good buzz on. And I guarantee you, most of the people that were in that crowd live in Miami watching Miley Cyrus last night had no idea any of this happened. I guarantee it. I give her credit. Okay, let's just get right into it. So she's performing. Just a few seconds after, I can't remember the song she was doing. It was a catchy tune. I don't know a lot about Miley Cyrus, but I've been singing this song in my head. Shoot, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it was a good tune. I am old enough to remember her father, Billy Ray Cyrus. Not that I like country music at all. But, and I often think about this. This is one of the reasons I'm glad I never had kids. Or I never had any daughters, because I don't know how about Billy Ray handles this. So anyway, Miley Ray's on stage. Miley Cyrus is on stage. And she's got the tiniest of tiny, a glitter top that just covers her front. Just like a handkerchief, or a glittery piece across the front with strings in the back. And a very, very short piece of cloth covering her bottom. She got some extremely high heel shoes. Now this woke me right up, right? As soon as I clicked on, as soon as I woke up about 15 seconds after midnight, my eyes were wide open. I was watching her. And I gotta say, Miley loves her butt. The way she paraded around on stage. At first I thought it was the high heel shoes. But, she's always got that butt, that arch in her back, which drives guys crazy. Let me say this. She's a little too young for me. And honestly, I've always loved long, dark-haired brunettes with buxom, large, dark hair, long dark hair, man. Bam, that gets my attention, but I love all women. So anyway, I'm fixated on Miley, and she's owning. I give her credit, man. She's a consummate performer, and so she's kind of got her back arched. And another performer comes out, and I don't know who he is. He kind of looked like a rapper. I don't know who he was. He had like braids. One of you guys will probably tell me who he was. Shortly after he went back off stage, she was still singing, and she had her hand on her chest like this. And to me, I thought, oh my, I thought she was going to pull it down, because it looked like her top had come off. It looked that she pulled the string from the back. It looked like she undid her top, and I was like, oh my God, she's going to go topless, live on TV. And I was like, this will be all over the news tomorrow. And she turns around and just pulls the top off. So live, New Year's Eve, a few seconds after midnight, millions of people watching. And Miley Cyrus is standing there with no top on, but her back is facing the cameras. The cameras instantly go to far away, because they don't know what she's going to do. So they go to the crowd. I got to say this too. I've never seen so many same-sex couples making out on TV in my life, and I'm okay with that. You know what? I would much rather see couples making out, same-sex, whatever, doesn't matter. As long, I'd much rather see that than people shooting each other, clubbing each other, screaming, hate-filled, these school board meetings, violence-filled. I would much rather see. I'd be, But as I watched it, I was thinking, man, for the GOP, for the old, those baby boomers, Trump-loving baby boomers in their 60s and 70s, and I'm not saying all baby boomers are Trump lovers, but I bet you they're having a fit right now. Oh my God, it's the Democrats. America's going to, this is the Antichrist, because there was two women making out. There was a lot of same-sex couples kissing on live network TV. So anyway, she just kind of owns it, man. She struts back towards the back of the stage and swings open the doors. Now the cameras have gone far back, and by this point you could tell it wasn't planned, because like I said, the cameras are they don't know what she's going to do. If she's going to turn around just with her boobs hanging out, well, they don't really hang, they're more perky. Yes, I am a connoisseur of the female mammillary glands. But anyway, all right, so she opens up, she swings these big backstage doors, and you could hear her sing from it. At this point, you know it's a mistake. You're like, oh my God, this is live TV, millions of people. And you could hear her sing a bit of a line from backstage. Then they switched to the side, to the dancers, the backup singers. And these people jumped right in and went to the chorus, the hook, and covered her. And they went back to the crowd, and nobody in the crowd had a clue what was going on. I think unless you were home watching this, there were the thousands of people in Miami dancing in front of the stage. I don't think any of them had any clue that she had actually lost her top. She comes back out with a big red blazer. I don't know whose this was. I hadn't watched the rest of the show before or after. So I don't know I don't think it was. It doesn't look like something Pete Davidson would wear. It had big shoulder pads or something. It looked like something from the 80s. Anyway, she comes out in that, and she jokes around. She says, "Boy, I bet you all the people are watching me now." So she owned it, man. I give her. I gotta tell you guys, I watched the Rap Game. Now, I'm not up on regular TV shows. I go through my apps, and sometimes I like reality TV, and I came across the Rap Game with Jermaine Dupri, and I started watching it. And he tells these kids, you got to adapt to the situation, because a lot of things could go wrong on stage. And man, that was the first thing that went through my head as I watched this. So she comes back out, she owns it, and you could still, us guys, we're fixated on the rest of her body, and you could still get a lot of cleavage, or side cleavage, I don't know what you call it. So anyway, it was interesting to watch. I could see I'm running long on time. I still want to talk about this. I'll have another video where I got to talk about AOC and her boyfriend. A Republican, Steve Cortez, put out a tweet about AOC's boyfriend. They were photographed at a Miami cafe. And her boyfriend, they're sitting 6 feet apart eating with no mask on, of course, because Florida has no mandates whatsoever because of Ron DeSantis. And he's wearing sandals. So this Republican, Steve Cortez, says, how dare he show his pale man feet? Like, you know, are you supposed to wear, you know, it'd be worse if he wore socks with the sandals. Or what's he supposed to have, women's feet? You know, of course he's got man feet, he's a man. Anyway, I'll talk more about that. I'll put the links to all this stuff down below. I wish I got to talk more about the AOC boyfriend sandal scandal. Sandal scandal. Good one. All right, you guys have a great New Year's Day. A great New Year's 2022. I'll be back later.